every single action you take is carefully monitored and recorded. Exactly what image you stop and look at, for how long you look at it. Oh yeah, seriously, for how long you look at it.
And so all of this data that we're just pouring out all the time is being fed into these systems that have almost no human supervision and that are making better and better and better and better predictions about what we're going to do and who we are. One of the things that he pioneered was the use of scientific A/B testing of small feature changes. Companies like Google and Facebook would roll out lots of little tiny experiments they were constantly doing on users. And over time, by running these constant experiments, you develop the most optimal way to get users to do what you want them to do. It's manipulation.
You're making me feel like a lab rat.
You are a lab rat. We're all lab rats.
And what people miss is that AI already runs today's world right now.
Even talking about an AI is just a metaphor. At these companies like Google, there's just massive, massive rooms. Some of them underground, some of them underwater, of just computers. Tons and tons of computers as far as the eye can see. They're deeply interconnected with each other and running extremely complicated programs, sending information back and forth between each other all the time. And they'll be running many different programs, many different products on those same machines. Some of those things could be described as simple algorithms, some of those things could be described as algorithms that are so complicated you would call them intelligence.
I like to say that algorithms are opinions embedded in code, and that algorithms are not objective.
You are giving the computer the goal state. I want this outcome. And then the computer itself is learning how to do it. That's where the term machine learning comes from. And so every day it gets slightly better at picking the right posts in the right order, and no one really understands what they're doing in order to achieve that goal.
The algorithm has a mind of its own. So even though a person writes it, it's written in a way that you kind of build the machine and then the machine changes itself.
There's only a handful of people at these companies, at Facebook and Twitter and other companies. There's only a few people who understand how those systems work, and even they don't necessarily fully understand what's going to happen with a particular piece of content. So as humans, we've almost lost control over these systems because they're controlling, the information that we see. They're controlling us more than we're controlling them.
It's the gradual, slight, imperceptible change in your own behavior and perception that is the product. And that is the product. It's the only possible product. There's nothing else on the table that could plausibly be called the product. That's the only thing there is for them to make money from. Changing what you do, how you think, who you are. It's a gradual change. It's slight. If you can go to somebody and you say, give me $10 million and I will change the world 1% in the direction you want it to change, it's the world. That can be incredible. And that's worth a lot of money.
You can imagine these things are sort of like, they tilt the floor of human behavior. They make some behavior harder and some easier. And you're always free to walk up the hill, but fewer people do. And so at scale, at society scale, you really are just tilting the floor and changing what billions of people think and do.
We've created a system that biases towards false information. Not because we want to, but because false information makes the companies more money than the truth. The truth is boring.
And so we're seeing the results of that. We're seeing corporations using powerful artificial intelligence to outsmart us and figure out how to pull our attention toward the things they want us to look at rather than things that are most consistent with our goals and our values and our lives.